Hello, Julia. I am so excited to be with you today. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you very much. How are you?
I'm very good. I was so excited when Jason talked to me about interviewing you because you have such a rich background. And so I just want you to introduce yourself and where you're from.
My name is Gul Jamal, but for short, so I prefer to be called Gulia. It's just more convenient for everybody. So I was born in the Soviet Union, and my nationality is Kazakh, if you know country Kazakhstan. So this is my nationality, but I was born and grew up in Russia.
Oh, okay.
Well, was born in the Soviet Union, and then it became Russia when the Soviet Union dissolved in 1991, so yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And so kind of like walk me through what was that like being a child?
So I was born in 1978 until 1991, so there was Soviet Union. Mm-hmm. And, as a child, I guess like you don't really think that, oh my gosh, this is Soviet Union, right? So I had a great childhood, I would say. I had mom and dad, they're still alive, thank God. Mm-hmm. And two sisters, one brother. And I grew up in the farm in a very small town in the Ural Mountains of Russia. Yeah.
What did you like to do on the farm? Can you remember?
Yeah, I can remember. Well, on the farms there was a lot of just housework, work in the garden. We had a big potato field. My parents had cattle, cows, sheep, chickens, geese. So, and we had to take care of them. So it was a lot of work. Definitely lots of work. Yeah.
So how did you start transitioning or thinking about transitioning to the US, if I'm not jumping ahead? Like, what did you do in your teenage years? Were you, because you said it was what, 1991 you said? Mm-hmm. Okay, so was that in your teenage years when you started thinking about coming to America, or how did that happen for you?
For me, it was never about America.
Okay.
Because in my school, we only had one foreign language, which was German. Mm-hmm. So we learned German at school, and my dream country was Germany. So I had 5 years of German at school. Then I studied 5 years at the university, also German language, and 3 years of English. I went into college, into university in 1994 when I was 16, and graduated in 1999. And my dream was always to go to Germany, not America, because America was just so far away, and
so let me ask one quick question. So did you go to the university in Germany? Because I think that's the part I missed. Or did you go to the university in the Soviet Union?
In Russia.
Oh, in Russia.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, in 1991, Soviet Union dissolved, and so then the country where I was living was Russian Federation of Russia.
Okay.
And so I went to study in Russia, and graduated from the Russian university where we studied languages. And then because my dream was always to go to Germany, so in 2001, I went to Germany. And so I found this program, it's kind of like exchange students. So like 1 year you stay with the German family and go to school. So then I also went to German school to study German. And so for 2 years I studied German language and in Germany. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then, to your question, how did I come to America? It was, like I said, because it was never my dream, but I guess circumstances of life change. And in 2002, I met my ex-husband in Germany. He was an American soldier who was stationed in Germany, and we met and we got married. So we lived in Germany for 7 years, and then in 2008 we came to the United States. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So when you transitioned from Russia to Germany, what was that like for you?
Oh, it was a dream come true. It was a dream come true because I dreamed about going to Germany since I was 11 years old. And when I came to Germany, it was, of course, it was a completely different world. First of all, the climate. So I came to Germany in August, and at this time in Russia, we already were wearing jackets, you know, it was kind of cool summer. And I came to Germany, and the temperature was nice, you know, it was just so warm. It was, if in Fahrenheit, it was like in the 80s, you know, 80s degrees. Everything is blossoming, flowers everywhere, and just beautiful, you know. And I thought, yes, this is it. This is my dream, and I loved it. And because I studied German in Russia, I always wanted to, you know, to see how my German is and to speak with locals, with Germans. And I would just, you know, I'll be walking on the street and just try to find any opportunity to speak German, you know, and that was kind of fun.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah.
Oh wow! And so you wanted to accomplish what did you want to accomplish when you got there? The accomplishment was to just graduate from college and get a career, or what did you decide that you wanted to accomplish in Germany, and did you get it accomplished?
The dream was to go to Germany, yes, get a diploma from German university or German school, and then come back to Russia and become this interpreter at the steel plant. We had this big steel plant in my city where I studied in Russia. And I wanted to be an interpreter over there because that steel plant had a lot of contacts with Austria and Germany back then. And I was thinking, so when I come back from Germany to Russia and I speak fluent German, and they're gonna take me and I will be on the top, you know. So that was the big dream. But then of course, like when I met my, you know, ex-husband, so I was thinking, you know, I can always go back to Russia. You know, there was big love, and I decided, you know, it's okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let's go down that conversation.
Yeah.
Falling in love with a soldier.
Right.
How did you guys meet?
Oh.
What happened? Give us the juicy details.
Well, it was, I guess, you know, it was just, we were going dancing. You know, it was not like a dance club, but it was like this big entertainment center where they were showing musicals. And I used to go there with my friends to dance. They had this like a little bar backstage or something, you know, and we'd go just there every weekend. And so when I met him there, so I was going there almost for a year. And I never thought that, actually, I never planned that or thought or dreamed that I would marry like a foreigner, you know. And when we met, I also thought that it would not be anything serious, you know, because I was leaving back to Russia, you know, and but then, you know, the feelings were high, and yeah.
So what did he say to convince you to come to the United States? Because you could have decided that you didn't want to go, but once you got married, right?
Yeah. Well, definitely, like we got married, and you kind of like you follow him then, you know.
Right.
So yeah. And first, like I said, so we lived in Germany for 7 years, and that was a great time, absolutely. So I enjoyed that a lot. Yeah.
So what was the first American state that you lived in when you came from Germany after living there for 7 years?
Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Yes. It was,
How did you like that?
oh, it was very hot. It was extremely hot. You know, we moved to Louisiana in June, and I think the temperature was like over 100 degrees every day. And I just like, I couldn't even go outside after 8 o'clock in the morning. So just like stay inside. So we had 2 little dogs, so I would take them for a walk like at 6 o'clock in the morning, you know, from 6 till 7. And yeah, after 8 o'clock, I couldn't believe like that you could go outside. It was just so hot and humid. And it was definitely like a country life because, so he got stationed in Louisiana. That's why we moved to Louisiana. So, yeah.
Were you living on a base or were you
On the base.
on the
Yes,
base?
on the base.
And
yeah.
so, did you meet other people? How was your English at that point?
Well, we should go back, I guess, like when I met him in 2002. My English was very basic. And when I graduated from Russian university, you know, like English was not fluent. It was, you know, conversational, but not as I'm speaking now, you know. And so it was definitely difficult for me back then because yes, the pronunciation, you know, was different. And when we would be watching TV, I could never understand the news, for example. They were just like, wah, 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 you know, you know, like what is this, you know, like I couldn't, I couldn't understand. I thought I will never understand that. But the way I started learning English, I was watching a lot of movies because he had like DVDs, and I was watching them with subtitles. So I would read and I would listen, and that's how my English was improving. So that definitely helped, and I like to talk, you know. So and I would speak to everybody, and just like that. And then over the time it evolves, you know. So then of course reading helps. I read a lot. Yeah,
Read a lot. So when you got to Louisiana, how was your English there? Because it's 7 years into your relationship. And so how was it? Did you go for any type of formal English training or anything once you got to Louisiana? Or?
No.
Okay.
My English was pretty good, I think, at that time, because when we lived in Germany, so I worked at this little shop where we were selling souvenirs and crystalware. And so I would have a lot of customers, you know, they will come over and they'll just hang out and we'll just talk about everything. And so, and I think, so that helped me definitely. And when I came to Louisiana, so there was, you know, they have different dialect there. So that was a little different. But other than that, I think like on the military base, everybody is coming from everywhere. It's like a melting pot of different dialects and accents. So you kind of like understand, I think,
Yeah. And so as you're evolving in Louisiana, how long did you stay there?
I stayed there from 2008 till 2013. Yes.
Okay. And then in 2013, where
So
did you go?
I was just then I just like I was contracting overseas. Then I started traveling a lot, and I was just going back and forth, you know, between like Russia, the States, and other countries. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you're learning. You have all this language, which is beautiful. How many languages do you speak?
Well, I would say, well, fluent. It's Russian, German, and English. But Kazakh language is my parents' language. So this language I understand, but I don't speak it, you know.
Okay.
So that's why Kazakh language, I wouldn't consider that I know it because I don't know how to write in Kazakh and I don't read in Kazakh language and I don't really speak. Like I can speak, but with an accent, you know, and it's not so fluent as English actually, you know. So, but I do understand. And that's very interesting too, because I think when we were growing up, my parents were speaking Kazakh between each other, you know, mom and dad, so that we as children don't understand, but we understood. And I don't know how it works, you know, like they would speak to each other and I knew exactly what they were talking about. And they thought that we didn't understand, but we did, you know. Well, I did at least. And so yes, English I learned after German. Yes.
So then when you left Louisiana, where did you go? And did you stay in the United States or?
No, I went back to Russia, and I thought maybe I can, you know, start my life there because by that time, so I divorced my husband, you know, things didn't go well, so, and I thought maybe I can go back and, you know, just start a new life there, but after living overseas for so many years, it was already different for me, just I wasn't used to the Russian lifestyle, I guess, So it was easier for me to go back to the States and find a job here than versus Russia. In Russia I could find a job, but they pay so little, and I didn't want to do that. So yeah.
So how did you get, because this is my biggest question, into the military?
My ex-husband thought that I would be great in the military because I was fluent in languages. I was very fit, and he said that the PT will be easy for me, that I know the languages, and that I could have a career in the military. So that was the idea. And also I could go to school, and military will pay for that. So that was the main goal, I guess. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you joined, when did you join?
In 2009. So we came to the States in 2008. And so then we found a recruiter, and so I went and took the SVAP test, and it was very low. It was like 11. Like it is very interesting. Like the minimum you should have is like 92, like over 90 or something. So I had 11, the first score.
Wow.
So because everything is in English, and the mathematics, science, math was very hard for me. So because you need to, in Russia, the metrics are like liters or meters, kilometers, kg,
Celsius
kilograms,
versus,
Celsius versus Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
So I had to relearn all that in English. And that was very tough. So I was I got this big SVAP book, and I was just I just started studying it, and just over and over doing all these exercises, and then next time when the recruiter came, so I had this 31, the score improved. I was like, yay, and so when I finally went to take the SVAP test, so I had 92, and that was enough to join the military. Yes.
Oh wow.
Yes, but it was definitely a long time of it was almost a year. Like I was studying for 9 months or something, to pass the SVAP test. So yes, physical part was not difficult, like running, and but also even for that, I started running because I was afraid that I will not pass the PT test, and then also running, push-ups, sit-ups. So I just started taking the classes like body sculpting classes and different, just at the gym. Like the good thing about living on base, you always have a fitness center, and you also have the variety of classes you can take, and you pay like bare minimum like $3, $5 for a class, and so that's what I was doing. So I would take like different types of class, like step class, Zumba, this body sculpting class, and some, I don't remember though.
But you took some classes.
Yes,
yeah.
I did, and I ran on my own also to prepare. So like studying and exercise.
That's good.
Yeah.
And so did you enjoy military life? How long were you in the military?
Just one contract. It was like 4 years, from 2009 to 2013. Military life was definitely challenging. I wouldn't say it was easy, because I joined when I was 32, and by that time already I have my, I guess, like some kind of like character and definitely experience in my life, and being in the military, like when I was 32, like my commander in my unit, she was my age, or she was like 31, and I came in as a specialist because I already had my bachelor's degree from Russia. They accepted that, so they evaluated and it was accepted. So, and the difficult part was I would say mental, because it's a lot of discipline. You have to follow the orders, you have to do what they tell you to do, you know, and of course all these formations and, you know, gatherings and stuff like that.
So when you left the military, what did you do after that? Did you decide, I'm gonna use this running and start running marathons? What did you do?
To me, I never planned to have like a running career or anything like that. I just always thought that I will run a marathon, you know, at least one marathon in my life. So, and the first time I actually signed up for a marathon in New Orleans, and it was in 2012. But then at the same time, so that's when I left my ex-husband, and I was so just mentally weak, you know, that I couldn't figure out how, I was of course very stressed out, and I didn't know how I'm gonna drive to New Orleans and, you know, find a parking, find hotel and all that stuff, because my ex-husband used to do that, but now I left him and I didn't know how to figure out all these things. So I didn't go in 2012. But then when we got divorced, and then I was still thinking like, you know what, I still want to run a marathon. And one day I was just seeing, you know, like scrolling on the Facebook, and then I found an ad, Great Wall of China, marathon on the Great Wall of China. And I was like, wow, so I want to do this, you know, like I'm gonna just I will see Great Wall of China and I'm gonna run a marathon. And I did it. And it's like 3 years later, I figured out how to book tickets to China, get a visa, you know, and of course, like I found a company, like American company, who organized a tour, go to China. But it was just such a big, I would say, jump for me personally, like from that person 3 years ago who couldn't even drive to New Orleans by myself, you know, and like find a parking, find hotel, and now here I am, like flying to a different continent to run a marathon. That was huge. That was really huge. Yes.
Tell me about this run on the Great Wall of China. That sounds amazing.
Yes, it was. Yes.
So, as we were off camera, I asked you, I said, oh my God, you look a little Asian. And you laughed at me. But let's get into that, because
I am Asian. Yes, you know.
When I heard you say Russian, I'm like, we're sitting here like, wait a minute. But you're Asian. Okay,
right.
Go ahead. Explain that.
Right. Well, Kazakh people, like I said, my nationality is Kazakh. And Kazakh people are Asian. They are not Russian. You know, Russian people, they're Caucasian, but Kazakh people are Asian. Okay?
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. And so I am Asian, so we all clear, right?
All clear over here, okay?
Right.
Because I was like, oh my God.
Yes. And, you know, let me tell you, so Russia has over 100 nationalities.
Really?
I believe it's like even 190 nationalities. This is why, like in the north, in the Arctic of Russia, there's a lot of small tribes. And they definitely, you know, they look Asian, and we have all kind of mixes, you know, in Russia. So it's definitely it's a multinational country.
Okay.
It's not just all white. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification.
Yes. And there were also different religions in Russia and different languages. Yes. Different languages, different religions, different, you know, looks and all that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get back to the marathon on the Great Wall of China. That must have been amazing. How far was it? Like, I don't know how long did you go the entire Great Wall of China, or?
No. So marathon distance of the regular marathon is 26.2 miles. Okay. So we started marathon from the square, then we ran about 2 miles to the wall, then we went on the wall, and we ran about, I would say, in miles, so about maybe 6 or 7 miles on the wall. Then we got off the wall and then we ran into the villages nearby, villages and gardens. And then we came back to the wall, and that's when it was like mile 20 or mile 19. So you came back to the wall, and then the last, again, like when you're already tired, you go a second time back on the wall, those 6 or 7 miles, and that was tough. And and then you finish back in the square. But the scenery was amazing. The scenery was just wow. It was just, it was very hot, but I kind of like living in Louisiana. I got used to the heat over the time, and that was not a problem for me. So, and I was just amazed how beautiful it was, and because it was my first marathon, I kind of like, I took my time. I wasn't there for setting records. I was just enjoying the view, just kind of embracing the whole experience, because here you have all these Chinese children and they high-five you, and then you got one of my friends was running. When he was running through the villages, he said that so there was a little boy who ran with him like for 2 miles just so he would speak English, that he was practicing English. How sweet was that? It was amazing, and I finished in 6 hours and 44 minutes. I remember my time, yes. Oh, wow. And it was great, no, not 6, I'm sorry, 5 hours, 44 minutes, yes, 5 hours. And I did really well. I wasn't sore, I did really well because I also trained for that, And the only thing was like the top of my ears were burned, because I was wearing a hat. Like I put sunscreen everywhere except the ears. You don't think that the ears will get burned. And then all of a sudden I feel like, oh my gosh, what is this? So yeah, the only thing what hurt was ears. Other than that, so I was fine. So that's why, like, after that, I was thinking, wow, I want to run another marathon. It was just like, because the experience was so good, and plus my family from Russia came to China to support me. So, and then my dad, my brother, my sister, my niece, they were all waiting for me at the finish line, and it was like the best thing in the world. I was like, wow, yes, loved it.
So after you ran that marathon, that sounds beautiful. Did you decide to run more marathons?
Yes.
Okay, so did you run any marathons in the United States?
Let's start like from the second marathon, I guess. Yes. Second marathon. In 2015, I did the Great Wall of China, and then after that, like I said, I was so impressed by that experience that I wanted to run another marathon, but I wanted to run somewhere unique, not just a regular marathon, like London, Tokyo, Boston, New York, where like you got like thousands and thousands of people. It's just too much, it's too many people. And I was thinking, like, I want to go to a unique place. I want to go somewhere amazing. And I found this marathon at the North Pole.
Wow.
Yes. So I went to North Pole in 2016. Yes. And that was the logistics, the preparation, the whole thing, like the preparation and training was intense, kind of like,
Because was it cold?
It was cold, yes.
Okay.
It was cold, definitely.
And you were used to running in hot marathons, so
yes.
Now you gotta learn how to adjust to that cold.
Right. But my thing was that I'm from Russia, I know the cold winters, and I was looking at the temperatures where they run marathon, and I was like, okay, yes, it was cold, like -10, -15 Celsius, which is in Fahrenheit, it's like -20 Celsius, it's like -4 Fahrenheit, but -15 Celsius, like negative something Fahrenheit also, right? So it was definitely low temperatures and wind, but it's all about the equipment, like you need to get right equipment. If you have good shoes, you have right jacket, so then you'll be fine, and then you just have to train. And So that cold was not really like the obstacle, I think, for me.
What do you think became would become the obstacle for you to do it in the North Pole?
Money, yeah, because it was back then, I think in euros it was like 13,900 euros. In dollars it was like 14,000 plus dollars just for registration, just to run a marathon at the North Pole. But then you also have to fly to the Arctic, you have to stay at the hotel there. That was not included. Right. So that $15,000 or 14,000 something, it's just the registration. It's just like over here, if you run, you pay like $200, or it all depends, right, where you're running. But definitely money, you always think like, wow, oh my gosh, like, do you want to pay this kind of money to run a marathon just for one day, you know? But to me, I think it was just such it was out of my dreams even. And it was just kind of like, wow, it's like flying to the moon or something. And that's why I was like, you know what, why not? So I'm single, I have no kids, I can do whatever I want. So, and that's what I did. And and I never ever regretted that, because I took first place. So that's the kicker. Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, that was a big achievement for me, because I think till this day, like, I'm the only one from Russia who went there, participated, and took first place. And so that's definitely, Russia is such a big country, or Kazakhstan. Nobody from Kazakhstan went there, nobody from Russia went there, but I did, and that's why it was such a great sense of accomplishment. Like at the North Pole, it was just so overwhelming, definitely. And that was worth any penny. If I would have had to pay another $5,000, I would, It was just this amazing sense of accomplishment that you did it. You went all the way to North Pole. You met these amazing people from different countries. They're from, US, of course, United States, UK, Thailand, China, Singapore, Europe, everywhere. And you come there and you meet these amazing people, and I felt like I was like polar explorer, like something,
The Polar Express,
astronaut, like all and then like being in the Arctic, you also meet these people like the not the astronauts, that the polar explorers, the scientists who go to the North Pole, and they do their research, and that, like, you meet these amazing people who you will never meet somewhere on the beach. But you go to this Arctic, it's like, it's a whole different experience, yeah.
So then where did you go to, because you went to the Great Wall of China, North Pole.
Yes,
and then in 2000, run that's better than those two places.
Yes, and then in 2016, we had in the Great Wall Marathon reunion. So because we had such a great group in China, so that they said, hey, let's meet in Colorado. And so in 2016, I went to Pikes Peak, ran the Pikes Peak Marathon. So that was great. So it's also like half marathon up, half marathon down. Oh my gosh, that was also very tough. But I didn't really train for that marathon, honestly. And that's why, like, I took my time, and it took me about like 5 hours to go up and then 3 hours to go down. So, but that was an amazing experience, because again, like, I met with my friends, and the scenery was amazing. Colorado is amazing, beautiful state. So definitely recommend. I mean, I think everybody, well, not everybody, but many people have been there, and yes, enjoy that nature. Yeah. And then from there, when I was at the North Pole, I met runners who just did the World Marathon Challenge, 777. And the race director from the North Pole, it was Richard Donovan. He is He's from Ireland. This man is a legend. You know, he was the one like in 2002. So he ran his first marathon at the North Pole, and then he brought next year he came back again and again and again, and then he's this marathon group, like the group, and he was also the one who founded this, or that was his idea, to run 7 marathons on 7 continents in 7 days.
Oh, I think I've seen that. Yeah.
Yes, that was him. So the same race director who did the North Pole, the same director was from that World Marathon Challenge. And of course, like I met the race director, I met the runners, and I was thinking, like, wow, like, this is it. Like, what can beat the North Pole?
Right.
Like, that would be it,
Yeah, the World Challenge.
Yes. And then, again, like, what would be the obstacle, if you would ask? Again, it's money, because that challenge was $40,000.
Wow.
For 1 week.
Expensive.
For 1 week.
For 1 week. Did that include like your hotel and food?
Yes, it included, like, once we started the challenge, that's when, but of course, like, you had to fly into the Cape Town. That's when we met, in Cape Town. But and once we flew to Antarctica, so it's like from there, fly to Antarctica and flight around the world and staying in a hotel.
7 days.
Yes, 7 days. Yes.
So wow, that's amazing. So you had to do that too?
Well, I chose that. Yes,
Yeah,
that was my yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. How hard was that?
It was very hard. Yes, it was. And silly me, when I was at the North Pole, and because like I took first place in women's and 5th place overall, like we were about like 50 runners, right? And those guys who did the 777, right? So they came somewhere behind me, right? In my thoughts, I was like, you know what? I beat those guys. And I can do this challenge, because since I was faster than them, I can do this challenge. But I didn't think that these guys, they just ran 7 marathons like a month ago.
Right.
And now they came to North Pole, or 2 months ago. They finished like in January or February. So then 2 months later, so they came to run a marathon at the North Pole.
Right.
And of course, they were still recovering from that challenge. Of course, they were not,
Be as fast.
Yes, they were not like fresh like me, right? That's why they were behind me. And I was thinking, oh, I beat them, So that was very naive. But of course, like I also trained. I trained for that hard. And in 2017, I definitely, like, I could not let go of that thought that you can like be on each continent like for 7 days and run every day.
Every day.
Yes, 26.2 miles.
In every single continent. That
Yes.
is crazy.
Yes, and it was just, the whole idea, it was just like mind blowing. It was definitely bigger than the North Pole. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it again. Like at that time I was turning 40 and I was thinking, you know what? 40 years old and $40,000. And I said, for each year of my life, $1,000. And I said, that, why not? That's how I broke it down. I was like, it's okay. Because like you need to find this, I guess, your explanation
for why you're doing what you're doing.
Yes, exactly. But it was also just, I loved my training for that challenge, because it was 6 days. So I would have 1 day off. And you know what's interesting? I never ever consulted a doctor.
Really?
No, I just in my mind, I can do it. I never went to the doctor and asked him like, hey, do a checkup, like, am I strong enough? Am I healthy enough? I never did that. I was like, I got this, And then a coach for training, right? You would think like you would need to get a coach.
Right.
And I never got it either. So I got a plan from them. you know, from the internet. And I was like, oh, okay, so this how like training for a marathon, right?
Right.
And then I kind of like, I have this plan, but then I alter it and I do it myself anyway. So my own thing, you know. And so, but my training was, so I would be running, I did yoga, and I did CrossFit.
Oh, okay.
Yes, CrossFit, definitely the strength training, you know, very important. And I did also like every Sunday I would get a massage, you know, like massage, and yeah, that was, the training was great. And I was on this like a schedule, and it was beautiful. So that's why like I could do it, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So what place did you come in the world one?
Well, you know, there were a lot of accomplished runners.
Okay.
And I was definitely a rookie, because until then I only ran like 5 marathons, because then after Pikes Peak I also did 1 marathon in Greece, the authentic Greek marathon, which was also amazing. It was beautiful.
Oh, I would think that.
Yes, there was definitely this feel like, wow, like you're running through the like history, or like that's when the guy, you know, ran these 42 kilometers, you know. And yes, that was amazing too. And a lot of runners who were participating in this challenge, you know, they already had like 40, 30, 20 marathons. I only like just started running.
Right. So,
but still, like I think in the four marathons I came in the 3rd place, you know. And then others, so I don't remember, you know, like, because like we all come like, you like, I didn't take any, like I didn't win, you know. So because in the World Marathon Challenge it's like there's only one winner, and I didn't. But I won in my own case because I did it, you know. And again, I was the only one from Russia who did it, or Kazakhstan. So that was kind of cool. Yeah. You know.
Yeah. And so then after that, where did you land? In
Rhode Island. Here I am.
And here you are.
Yes.
You are. Are you thinking about running any more marathons?
Yes, I am. But right now, so I'm going to Rhode Island College. So I'm getting my 3rd degree in 3rd language, and I just want to finish my degree, and so then we'll see what I can do. You know?
What 3rd language are you getting your degree in?
English.
Oh, in English.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're getting a degree in English.
Because
okay.
see, the first one was in Russia, second in Germany, and now 3rd one is in English.
Yeah, but what are you getting your degree in?
I'm sorry. Yes, yeah. No, degrees in computer information systems.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Check you out.
Yes.
And where's the next marathon that we're gonna run?
We shall see. We shall see. Yes, I cannot tell you now, because it's like everything just evolves, you know. You get these ideas, and you know, friends invite you like, oh, let's go here, let's go there, you know. I actually last year I just did the Inca Trail Marathon in Peru.
In Peru.
Yes. That was in September of last year. Yeah.
So you've been everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm a food influencer on my other time, right?
Yeah.
I just want to know from you, what's the best meal you ever had?
It's hard to tell, you know, because there's so many different
cultures.
Yes, cultures.
Yeah, because you've been everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, you've been in Greece, you've been like everywhere. Like everywhere you can think of, you've been there. Louisiana has amazing food. You know, you've been over
Peru
in China,
also.
Peru. You've been everywhere.
I love ceviche. Yes.
I like ceviche too.
Ceviche is, I would say, one of my favorites is ceviche.
If you can think of 3 things that helped you learn English, I heard 2 in speaking with you. You said 1, communicating with other people really helped you. You also said reading really helped you. But I wanted to know more basic than that. I did hear, oh my God, you did tell me 3 things. You said closed captions helped you. Can you think of anything else that helped you with learning English?
Listening, also listening. Yes, listening and repeating.
Okay.
You know, yes, it's just like you have to listen over and over, and then reading. And I like to memorize stuff. Also, like when you read something, and of course, sometimes people say like, oh, it's challenging, right? But you read and you write out each word in your little notebook. Then you find translation, you translate into your language, and then you have this notebook, your vocabulary book, and then where you have all the words and translate it into your language. Yes, and definitely like be unafraid to talk to people, have a desire to talk, get involved, with the community. It's very basic, because I've noticed that, some people come to America and they continue speaking Russian or speaking Spanish, and not willing to learn English. And that is wild to me, because if you come to America, you need to learn English. And there is no excuses. Like, you have to learn it, and persistency, you have to be persistent. Just learn like a few words, but if you like dedicate like 15 minutes each day to English every day, it doesn't have to be 1 hour, because 1 hour sounds scary, but like a small increments, and that's what helps. Consistency. Yeah.
I am so glad you said that, because that is my mantra. I say it every time I'm in class. It only takes 15 minutes. I say every time that I'm in class, vocabulary is the number one thing that's going to help push you forward in learning English. And a lot of times I think people think because I don't know a foreign language that I don't know how to teach them English. And that's not true. I've seen these things over and over again with the successful people that speak English. They're not afraid. They make sure that they're practicing 15 minutes a day. And that vocabulary book, this is what I get on my students about. Like when we get new vocabulary, I'm constantly saying, write the word out 3 times, say the word, know what this word means, go look this word up.
Yes.
Because it's important that you know what the words means. And there was something else you said, and it was very key. And it was when you were in the military. So the reason why I wanted to pull this piece out is because there's a lot of new immigrants that are coming to this country, and they are learning what's called workforce English. And they're not able, after they complete like workforce English, and for them to be able to speak and to pass these certifications. And I loved how you talked about how when you couldn't pass it, you kept trying. You were like, I am gonna make sure that I know this information so that I can get to where I need to be. And I loved how when you said you got a 3 on the SVAT. Yeah, that you were able to go
progress,
right? Because I see a lot of women who are taking like the CNA test or any type of MAP testing, and they can't pass because they don't know the language. And I love how you didn't let that defeat you.
Of course not, because if you have a goal and then you just don't give up. That's also the important thing is you have to consistently, like you study, you read, you fail, you do it again and again and again. That's when you stop trying, and that's when you fail. But you just don't stop trying, because people nowadays, they just want everything fast. But nothing comes fast. It takes time. People are impatient. You have to have patience for that, because like when you look at the infant, when children are born, when do they start speaking? They start speaking like at the age of 3, maybe, right?
Yep. And if you don't know by 3, if they don't speak by 3, they got to learn sign language.
Yes, or something, or even longer. But people think, oh, I'm gonna like come here and learn, because first children, they listen. They listen, then they start talking, then what parents bring them into the environment and all that, then slowly they listen, they observe, You know, that's how they develop their language. And nowadays, it's like, I like these commercials. Oh, you can learn language in 3 months or 2 months or something. No, you can't. No.
I can't. No,
You have to, like, you need to know grammar rules, you know. You need to see. And then when I was studying in Russia, oh my gosh, we had not just to, like, we had to learn, study all these grammar rules. And we had to just memorize all these rules, you know, not just use them, memorize how the rule is sounding off, you know. And it was very tough, you know. And my professors in Russia never left Russia, but they were teaching us. Like you said that somebody thinks that you cannot teach English, but my professors, they never left Russia, and they were teaching us German or English, and they English and German was like perfect, you know. And our professors were very strict, and they always were telling us like, oh, we're gonna kick you out, we're gonna every day, like, you know, oh, you didn't learn that, we're gonna kick you out by the end of the semester, you know. And we're like, no, you're not, we're gonna teach, we're gonna learn, like, you're not gonna kick me out, you know. And that's how, like, you stay in.
Yeah, I say that every night to my
Yeah.
students. I'm like, if I hear you speak Portuguese, I'm kicking you out of the class.
Right.
And I'm not doing that because I'm being mean. I'm doing it. If you're wasting my time, I'm there for 3 hours, you're there for 3 hours.
Right.
If you choose to speak Portuguese during that time, you are wasting my time. And
Yes.
someone else could be in that seat that really wants to get this lesson.
Also, if you came to America, then why don't you want to learn English? If you want to speak Portuguese, then maybe you should stay in the country where people speak Portuguese. Then don't come to America like, oh, let's everybody speak Portuguese, you know, like, no.
No, it's not happening.
No, exactly. You came to this country, you have to learn English. And don't expect others like, oh, we're going to entertain you in Russian or Spanish or whatever else.
Yeah.
No, people speak English here. You have to learn English. You want to be successful, you have to integrate into the culture. You know, you have to learn what is this culture is all about.
Yeah.
You know, and if you want to bring your habits, bring your good habits with you. If you have your bad habits, leave your bad habits in your country. You came to America for improvement of your life, right? So take in the best out of this country, you know, and leave all the bad behind. So
Love it. Let's end right there.
Yes.
Leave all that bad stuff
Yes.
behind. I love your intentions.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Gulia.
Yes,
This was
thank you.
amazing. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Bye.